Hi, and welcome to the Be Courageous Online Summit. My name is Tracy Tadero. I'm a self-love mentor and life coach, and we are so glad you're here today. My intention is for this summit is to provide encouragement and support for anybody who's going through times of adversity and turmoil, which we all are right now. And we have an amazing guest today, Dr. Tina. Dr. Tina is a pediatrician, acupuncturist, transformational coach, motivational speaker, and a proud mom. She loves to laugh and wear stylish clothes, as you can see. She believes that hugs mixed with empathetic and honest conversation are one of the best remedies on this planet. If we don't take chocolate into account, of course. She is the biggest fan of children and the strongest advocate of the theory that it takes a child to raise a parent. Her mission is to empower and support parents to become the best possible version of themselves and live extraordinary lives in order to be the best possible role model for their children. Living extraordinary life is our birthright, on her opinion. Children learn by modeling and through observation, wire their subconscious brain in the first years of life. So with the right parental mindset, we are wiring our children's brains for happiness and success. At the end of our subconscious mind drives our entire lives as adults. Where am I at here? Today, Tina truly lives what she preaches. Her transformation started already in her teens, battling anorexia. She was a child with little or no self-esteem, and she didn't love herself. Parenting and struggles that come with it can be used for ultimate personal growth and development and transformation. Therefore, parents need to live their true authentic life, innermost potential, soul purpose, and be connected with who they really are in order to give the child and themselves the best possible platform to thrive. Dr. Tina combines her talent and passion for helping, inspiring, transforming, and motivating parents whenever sought to speak on stages internationally and in her homeland. Great introduction, Tina. Thank you and welcome to the summit.
Hi, thanks for having me. Such an honor being with you.
It is such a pleasure to have you here, and so excited that you specialize in this area of understanding the subconscious mind. So as we know, going through all of this change that's going on, it's stirring a lot of discomfort up for people, and people are responding out of survival mode, and all those paradigms and limited programming that they've been carrying probably for their whole lives since the time they were a child. So I guess let's start out with you kind of explaining what that means when we talk about the subconscious mind and how it drives our life.
So basically, subconscious mind it's really the motor of everything. So it's everything is in a way written and imprinted in our subconsciousness, and is actually the subconscious mind that is really in a way creating our lives. Those are all habits or beliefs that we are actually living and doing. So whatever we do it usually subconsciously, even what we feel, how we think. And it's not just only about our subconscious minds and our beliefs and thoughts. It's also what I really believe is that how our bodies, so I believe that we are energy, our bodies are energy, and everything is energy. And this is even proven with physics, with not just modern physics, but also, in quantum physics, that atom is actually a vibration. It's actually only a vibration. So we don't deal with a single molecule. So it's just a vibration. So everything is proven to be energy. So what our bodies are also in that sense, it's everything is energy. So whatever you think, you become. Even Buddha said that. And so what you think, it's your subconsciousness. So your subconsciousness is constantly using your past experiences or whatever knowledge you have to really combine all of the things to see let's say you have an experience, you're experiencing, I don't know, a negative situation. So your body is constantly, and you're feeling in a certain way. Whenever you're feeling something, this feeling is producing a vibration. And there is a thing called heart-brain coherence. So your heart is emitting very big electromagnetic field, and this is actually tuning into the electromagnetic field of your brain and your subconscious mind. So whatever feeling emerges, this feeling will be in tune with the thoughts and the programs that are going to be activated because of that in your subconscious mind, in your brain. So that's why you behave or react in a certain way. That's why you always, in a way, problem solve in the same way. That's why you always, when you have a problem, you are kind of trying to prove yourself that you aren't wrong, actually, that other people are wrong, and that, you know, and you're trying to always get the proof that, you know, it's not your fault, because your ego is trying to be protected, because our egos, they don't want to feel that they're not perfect. We always want to be perfect for ourselves, which is in a way good, but also causes suffering. So everything is in a way written in our subconscious mind. So whatever beliefs you have about yourself, whether you love yourself or you don't, whether you're self-sabotage, whether you are having, if you are living abundance or not, what kind of beliefs you have about money, about your life, about yourself. So everything is written there. And it's not just that it's written there, it's important that we know, especially if you are a parent, that subconscious mind is actually developed from the ages, from the moment we're born, and that up until the age of 5 or 7 years of age, it depends. And so our children are, and why we always say that the history repeats itself, it's because we learned, we were taught by our parents. And I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years ago, those things weren't, you know, people didn't talk about this, either they didn't have the knowledge, or, you know, we didn't have, or people didn't have so many access to so much information that we have today, and not so many scientific studies were done. So what I mean is, you have to know what kind of impact you have on your children, because even when they are still not even when they're in the developmental phase where they are not speaking yet, what they do, they communicate with this non-verbal, in a way, non-physical connection we all have. Like, we are all one and we are all connected. Everything is connected, and this connection is especially seen and can be felt, and you can observe it with your child. So they watch everything, what you do, how you think, how you behave, how you problem solve, what kind of relationship you have with yourself, with money, with others. And they put it on the autopilot of their subconscious minds. So their subconscious minds, now being developed, are taking this, are learning through modeling. They model whatever you do. And even though they're just crawling, they're not walking yet, they don't, you know, live by themselves, but their brain is constantly downloading this information and imprinting it. And then when the brain will be mature enough, they will take this information. And now, since this information is stored and you are their biggest superhero and role model, of course, now their brain thinks, okay, this is the way things are done on this planet. So we are, in a way, teaching them the way we need to live on this planet, how we should live our lives. So we better teach them to retain that potential they're still connected to, and use it to the fullest. So this is how the subconscious brain and subconscious minds of all of us was really designed and created. And this is why we are sometimes facing the same problems our mothers did. Sometimes I know everyone is saying, oh my God, I'm turning into my mother. It doesn't have to be just about parenting also about other things. You really don't like that, but it happens because those programs are being activated, and this is how subconscious minds are developed in each and every one of us. And this is why this is so important. So, and then those subconscious minds and beliefs and programs are really generating our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. And when the thought is generated, a feeling emerges. A feeling then again creates this electromagnetic field, which is going then into the coherence with the electromagnetic field of our brain. And this in turn creates another thought with the same vibration. So in that case, if we face a problem in our life, we shouldn't be, Einstein said, it's impossible to solve the problem from the same standpoint, frequency, where the problem was generated. We need to change that. We need to change that perspective. In that way, we need to change our subconscious minds. But how we can do that is we need to generate automatically generate a different thought that will create a different feeling. And this can be changed. This can be really, this is how the brain is rewired. And this is even proven with neuroscience. It's called neuroplasticity. Even though that our brains are mature and they are fully functioning and they're not developing anymore, they can be changed. And this is what, can be used to start living extraordinary, courageous, abundant, happy, extraordinary life.
It's fascinating, the science behind all of this. And like you said, the neuroplasticity, it's like it's just really starting to come into focus. And I'm fascinated by the subconscious mind and how it just navigates us through life. Like, I know that 90% of how people respond and react is from the subconscious mind, correct? And then 10% is really conscious. And what people don't understand, it's like, even though somebody will say, oh, I want to do something different, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to stop this habit. If the subconscious mind is still needing that behavior for survival, right, they're going to continue that behavior. And it's amazing to understand how powerful that subconscious mind is. And the patterns that we go through in our life, like we were talking about, the financial pattern, the success patterns, I know for myself, it was, money, I grew up in a middle upper class family, but it was always like wealth was it was for the other people. And that programming stuck for so long until I was able to start to identify it and be like, wait a minute, that's not true. That's an old story. Right. And so, how can people begin to, well, one of the things I was going to share, I know it's fun to play games with people because how they play a game is kind of how they show up in life, right? Like if you play the game of life or Monopoly, right? Somebody going to I'm going to take everybody down, it doesn't matter. Or, oh, I'm just going to let everybody take my properties. And, it's a good telltale sign. Next time the viewers play a game with somebody, just pay attention, because I truly think that programming just plays out in every area of our life. So going through this pandemic and people are getting activated and they're reacting in certain ways, like, can you identify or connect the dots for our viewers on how those current reactions that they're experiencing and those emotions are likely linked to old subconscious programming?
Well, it's not just that this pandemic it's really taking us to the point of an extreme, especially if you are the kind of a person that would always listen to the news and is attracted to all the tragedy and the worst case and black scenarios. And this is because your bodies, so when it's not just about this pandemic, it's how how you do one thing, you do everything. So this is now just maybe more prominent because a lot of people stayed at home and, our egos were tested, how we truly are, how we can handle our emotions, our emotional states, everything was tested. So now this is really, it's all about, again, everything is personal development. And this is also showing up in such a situation is this. But I was hearing a lot of people saying that with the severity of the problem, and where, you know, especially in Italy, I live close to Italy, there were, you know, they really had this, the worst case scenario. But I was talking to some people and they said the crazier it gets out there, the calmer I'm within. Because it's actually, and I'm always comparing this, and this happens actually to everyone, it's an automatic reaction of the mind wherever and whenever things go really over the limit, over our comprehension, over the capacity of our comprehension. What happens is actually what we want to create with meditation, through meditation, is that the mind stops and the silence emerges. And this is also, it could be compared when someone suddenly dies or a tragedy happens to your family, and then, or if you just observe this, you know, when, you know, someone, let's say a husband of your friend would die, and then all the people are asking themselves, well, where does she get the strength to go through this? Which, you know, she shows up so strong, so powerful. And that's why, because everything was just so suddenly, happened so suddenly, and it was beyond the comprehension of her mind. So the thoughts just stop. And then our inner power has the capacity to show. So if situation is so extreme, this is in a way easier, because even though if we look from, you know, from the perspective of life, it's a tragedy, it's really painful. But what really happens is, because our minds aren't capable to function in such a situation, they just stop. And then this true feeling of inner power really comes and shows up. If the situation isn't so dramatic, then what happens is that our egos start to really flourish in a way, and they try the negative self-talk is starting to show up, and you know you need to be calm, but everyone triggers you around. And I think it depends what kind of person you are, whether you are going into the self, or if you're going into the victim mode of being a victim of a situation, then of course you're going to suffer. You're going to call people, friends, who are going to confirm that you are suffering, that you are the victim, and you're going to suffer together. Or you're going to see this from another perspective, or trying to see it from another perspective. And it's just a matter of a choice. So whether you choose to go into the victim mode, or you choose to see this from the brighter side. So I really can't help myself but to see the situation. And I was just talking to some friends today, and they are saying, well, really this quarantine was really the best time of our lives. We were connected more as a family. We were finally together. Before, we didn't have so much time to spend with each other. And it was really a wonderful experience, learning more about our kids, about ourselves, our relationship. And if you take it from that perspective, if you choose that this is going to be an opportunity for you, you're going to make it an opportunity. If you are, and of course it's subconscious, but also the moment you realize you're doing certain things, the moment you realize you're going into this mode of being a victim, and you admit that, that's the first step. And now you have the power to choose, okay, I'm going to change this. How can I change this? How can I change the perspective? And a lot of times, if you read books, if you go through, I don't know, certain courses, everything seems so as this big science fiction thing, and that you need, I don't know, 10,000 years of tools and courses and practice. But in fact, everything is just about your will to overcome your ego and to calm it down in the moment and say, no, I'm going to choose a different perspective. I'm going to do this thing differently. It's all about self-commitment. It's all about, as I said, choice, and it's self-discipline. It's self-discipline. And this is actually everything. This is how life is, in a way, testing us all the time. So you can choose all the situations to whether to grow or to suffer. And it's just a matter of your own choice. Everything comes down to who you are. And the same is with parenting, right? So everything our children are, all the issues we might have, all the challenges we might have are just the reflection of everything that is going on inside of us. But sometimes we are pretending not to see certain things because it would be too painful for our egos, because our egos never want to admit that, you know, we are not perfect. But of course, in all our imperfections, we indeed are perfect, but we just need to remove that ego. We just need to remove that. And then this power, this inner bright, shining light can come up and show. And whenever you are, whenever you find yourself in a situation when you're going into this victim mode, and then you say, hold on, okay, I can see this happening again, and I'm committed to change this. The moment you shine the awareness to this problem, to this thing going on, and when you are putting yourself in a way, I always say, into the observer mode, so you're not identifying yourself with the feelings and with the emotions and with the thoughts, because you are not your feelings, emotions, your thoughts. You are not your body. You are this energy, this power that's behind all of that. And whenever you go into this observer mode and really realize, okay, this is just a feeling. Every feeling is just a feeling. It just happens. It's a natural reaction of the body. It's a natural reaction of our brain. It's a natural reaction to life. Okay, it's just a feeling. You don't need to label it positive or negative, good or bad. It's just some feelings are more pleasant than the others. That's true, but it's just a feeling. And the moment you realize, okay, it's a feeling. So, okay, it's a feeling. It's like, it's painful or it's pleasant. And then you'll see it's like a wave. You are the ocean kind of behind everything. And your feelings, thoughts, emotions, this, negative self-thought, negative self-talk, everything that's showing up for you are just the waves. And the waves, the ocean is never bothered with the waves. The ocean is the strong, powerful ocean behind everything. So, and this is your choice. And it's about awareness, self-awareness, self-discipline to really, and commitment to really wanting, if you're really wanting to change your life, if you're really wanting to do some things differently, you will do it. So what's showing up for people is actually how committed they are to change, how committed they are to really create a different reality, to create a different world for them, a different life for them. Or maybe are they just reading some books, personal development books, and they agree to everything and they say, yes, that's true, and they are posting some positive thoughts and everything, but this is where they end their journey. It's just they agree with that. They don't put everything they see, everything they believe, everything they agree to into practice. So it won't help you if you won't do the first step. You need to do the work. You need to do the action if you want to change. So it's all about your commitment, and to be honest and brutally honest with where you are in your life, how committed you are to change.
That's interesting. And I think getting people to step away from those emotions, right, and those feelings, and no longer identify as being those feelings, right? It's just, like you said, a wave that's passing. It's going to come and it's going to go, and it may be negative emotion, it may be positive emotion, but just being more of an observer of their thoughts and their feelings, correct?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So when somebody meets one of these emotions with resistance, like what steps could they take to kind of break through that?
So resistance is a lot of times it's fear. Resistance is a lot of times it's created by fear. So you need to be honest, sit with yourself and say, okay, so what am I afraid of right now? Because if you are honest, when resistance shows up, there is, so what's stopping me right now? What am I afraid of? So okay, just sit with yourself and be honest. Okay, sometimes I have like, I know how you feel doing the summits, and sometimes things can get overwhelming and you have this resistance showing up, like even opening an email, because sometimes, you know, things go wrong, or, you know, sometimes everything is overwhelming. All the interviews, you know, are postponing and rescheduled and everything. And, you know, of course, resistance comes up because it's, you know, it is an experience. So how to go wherever there is resistance, there is also love, because you wouldn't be doing things if you wouldn't, you know, love things you do, if you wouldn't have this bigger vision, this bigger picture of doing things. And resistance is sometimes just kind of balancing everything, because if you're creating so much positive changes, you know, the nature of life is to kind of constant creation of balance. So a lot of times, even if people are all about the law of attraction and everything, and if you are creating your life, so a lot of times obstacles show up. The more you're committed, the more vivid your vision is, the more you can feel the end result, the more you can feel how you're going to feel when you're going to finish something, when you're going to reach your goal. So, and people then tend to say, so this is just life testing you, all those obstacles. This is also resistance, and how you overcome this is actually the true journey. And here is where your life actually gets excited, is whether you're going to stop. So you have always two choices whenever resistance shows up. It's, again, you have a choice, right? So resistance shows up, you have a choice. You can say, okay, I'm gonna stop here. So it's only two options, whether you stop and lose, or you continue and you win. Because there is no right way of doing it. However you may go and push through resistance, it's okay, because you have to go through certain steps and learn something. And sometimes your life might quantum leap you to another level. But if you wouldn't be learning through those obstacles, pushing through resistance, in this another new higher level, you wouldn't know how to navigate, right? So you need to learn that. And through that, you gain experience and you gain confidence. And this is why all the obstacles, all the resistance needs to show up, to really gain confidence. No one is confident by default. Like, how do you gain confidence? You gain confidence whenever you finish something for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 50th time. And there is a difference even between third time and the 10th time, because when you're going to do something for the 10th time, it's going to be so easy for you. And when you accomplish it for the first time, you felt resistance. You felt that it was, in a way, it was tough, but it was because there is a learning curve. You needed to learn so many things, but now you've learned. You create new connections in your brain, and now you have all those pathways. So whenever you're going to do it for a second time, it's going to be so much easier, and you're going to feel more confident. So actually, those obstacles, this resistance, is actually just a natural way of gaining confidence, of learning, of growing. Everything is about your growth. It's about learning about yourself, who you are, where you need to, in a way, change, and where are your weak points, and what you need to learn, how you need to be creative, resourceful. So resistance is also, it's about becoming a pro, right? It's Stephen Pressfield, the War of Art, right? He's talking all about the resistance, and he's talking about becoming a pro. So a pro, whenever you're committed to something, to change your life, to achieve a goal, you need to become a pro. Because what a pro would do in order to achieve something, even if they don't feel like, I don't know, like waking up early in the morning and doing some practice or doing something, they are committed to their goal, and they still do it, even though they might not feel, today I don't feel like working out. A pro does it, because a pro knows that resistance will show up. And it's a matter of your self-discipline and how much you really want to achieve that goal, how much you really want to change. It depends solely on you and your choice. So, and this is the way of pushing through resistance, is just do it. Just do. I mean, you have to do it. If you want it, you have to do it sooner or later. So it's just, again, a matter of your own choice and your commitment.
And I can attest firsthand, you know, the greater the vision, the more resistance you're going to get, and the more limiting beliefs are going to start bubbling up. And for me, doing this summit, oh my gosh, I have been stretched farther than I ever thought I could have done. But I had my mindset on it. I had a mission to help everybody and to provide this amazing series. And one of my biggest paradigms that came up is a fear of being seen. I mean, like, how much more could I be seen than being, you know, on this summit that's going to reach, you know, 150,000 plus people? But I kept feeling it. And I just was like, nope, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just kept pushing through and pushing through. And I felt the discomfort every time I had to do a video, you know, call or reach out to an expert, or, you know, just, it was crazy. So, you know, in support of the viewers, like, a lot of people are wanting to step into new territory with a new career or a new relationship or whatever it may be. And that discomfort's going to come up. And like you said, you just go, and you do not stop. If you want it bad enough, those mountains get smoothed out as you go along, but you keep your eye on the goal, right? And just allow it to come.
Absolutely. And this, you know, the closer you're getting to your goal, the more your reservoir, I always call it like this inner reservoir of your happiness and fulfillment gets filled up. And what happens at a certain point is that you don't feel exhausted anymore. You don't feel tired, because you are constantly recharging your inner batteries with this vision that is actually now coming true. And you were the one creating this vision. You were, you know, you were following, I don't know, all the instructions. You were pushing through resistance. And actually, what resistance actually is actually stepping into, this is how we grow, right? This is how we create extraordinary life. So it's all about really becoming comfortable, feeling uncomfortable. You start feeling uncomfortable, like your ego starts feeling uncomfortable whenever we are stepping into a new territory we don't know. We've never been here. You have this resistance of, you know, being visible, contacting, sending so many emails to, you know, a lot of potential experts. What if they say no? What if they don't like me? I don't know. What if I wouldn't find so many? At the end, you see that you can have like a lot more. But it's about, you know, it's all about experience. And now when you're going to do it for the next time, it's going to be so much easier because you've learned on the way. So resistance is really whenever our egos are stepping into the unknown world. And this is why so many people are also remaining in, let's say they are depressed or anxious. For the ego, this is homeland. Even though it doesn't feel comfortable, even though it's painful, even though it's suffering. But stepping out of this, and this is actually the comfort zone of this person. So whenever you are stepping out of it, our egos are stepping to the unknown territory. And this is actually creating resistance. And this resistance is just fear, the fear of unknown. And it's actually the fear of, I don't know, not being good enough. It's the fear that shows up because you're not trusting yourself, because you're not trusting your vision, because, I don't know, you have the, whatever, you know, lack of self-love, whatever it might be, all those things are showing up. And this is really a smooth way of our egos trying to stop us. And then the next thing is the negative self-talk that is trying to stop us. Who am I? Who am I to say something? I mean, I don't have so much experience. I mean, I'm not an expert. The imposter syndrome, who would listen to me, right? this is just the negative self-talk of our egos trying to persuade us, don't go there, don't go to this unknown territory where you will grow, where your life actually starts. So my advice would be, whenever this shows up, follow this fear, because this is actually the way to go. And the more fear and the more resistance you feel and experience, that is actually just the greater proof that you are on the right track and that you need to follow through. And you just go, just stay true to yourself, follow through this, and you are on the right path. This is actually the proof.
Love it. And that's, you know, some great words for the viewers. It's like, you're worth it, and just follow, and just, you can do this. Whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. Get a support team and just make it happen, right? Like, work through that fear. That book, I don't know who writes it. Feel the fear and do it anyway, right?
Yes.
And work through that. So we have a couple minutes left, and I just wanted to, one more final question. With the theme of this being Be Courageous, how can our viewers tap into that inner strength so that they can be courageous, doing whatever it is that they want or need to do at this time?
Well, a lot of times I would just, so how I'm doing it is that it's first, you need to either, whether it's a meditation, whether it's hiring a coach, be in a community of people who are really like-minded, who are really calling you forward. This means a lot, because if you have if your friends are people who are anxious, people who are constantly in being the victims, you are going to, they are taking you with them into that mode, and it then, this negative self-talk and having the feeling that you are not courageous will just grow. So what you resist persists, right? So mind your tribe. I really mean that. I'm not saying you have to go and call all of your friends and just fight with them, but really use your time, your free time that you have, wisely, and use it and spend it with people who whatever crazy idea you might have in your head. I mean, this idea is there for a reason, especially if it's, connected, if you get all fired up whenever you're thinking about it. So, I mean, I would go, if you would say something, you would have an idea, and I would see that you are just, fired up. I would say, just do it. Just do it. I mean, there is no way to lose, right? There's no way to lose, because either you're going to finish this, or you're going to learn so many new things, and life is going to pivot you to some place which is so much better, which is so much more exciting, which is really, which is, in a way, maybe you will pivot to your purpose. And then whenever you are on that path, abundance, happiness, bliss, everything happens for you, right? Automatically, everything falls into place. Everything, it's aligned. So choose your friends or people you're spending most time with wisely, and let them be courageous, let them be crazy in a way, let them be out of the box, right? Full of energy. So whenever you're talking to someone like that, you will be automatically, called forward. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can. Be your own coach, right? What would a coach do? Like a coach would really support you into your mission, into following your mission, into really living your calling, your purpose, right? So be your own coach, and just kind of have this self-talk. If you need to have your self-talk, let it be positive. Be your own coach. This is a way of really becoming courageous. As I said, no one is courageous by default. You get courage whenever you follow your fear. This is courageous, right? Whenever you have the guts to follow those fears that show up and stop the negative self-talk that comes, on the way. This is courageous. This is a true courage, to really follow and allowing yourself to follow that, to follow your calling, to follow your vision. Right? And this is where, fear is the most courageous people on this planet and the most successful ones are terrified all the time. They are not, I mean, because why? Because they are stretching themselves all the time, because they are stepping into this unknown territory all the time. So the only way of doing it is just following your fear. But there is also, here's a little catch: follow the fear of unknown, and don't follow the fear you create into your mind. So whenever the negative self-talk starts and is creating this black scenarios, what ifs, whenever you're in that, in the what if mode, that means you're in your mind and you are creating stories that are trying, and your ego is creating stories to stop you. So just step back and really align with your vision. Your vision has to be strong, because your vision is going to be your motivation. Your vision is going to help you follow through and go push through resistance. Your vision, because you need to really kind of pull the energy of your vision, and you whenever you create your vision, you need to feel it. You need to feel how you're going to feel whenever this comes true, whenever you're going to face this, whenever this is going to manifest in your life, right? And whenever you are in that mode, in that feeling, now you are talking. Now you have the power to go. So whenever fear shows up, whenever resistance shows up, whenever the feeling that you are not courageous enough shows up, step back. Okay, take a break and just go into your vision and be in tune, connect with your vision, because this will help you to overcome all those feelings. And courage is just gained on the way.
Mm-hmm. So hold on to that vision, hold on to that passion, and just press through. I mean, that's the bottom line. Thank you. That was beautiful, beautiful, and just a new light on things, for people to understand that. And I know you really offer to your clients ways to tap into that subconscious and dig out some of those beliefs. And one of the free gifts that the free gift that you were offering, which we'll have a link below in the email to access it. Can you explain to our viewers what you are offering, please?
So I'm going to offer, for the first 10 people who will sign up, I'm going to offer a 30 minutes free life-changing session where we are going to rewire our brain as much as we can in 30 minutes to really tap into the inner genius you have, all of you have in yourself. And that tapping into that is actually leading to courageous life and to creation of extraordinary life. So I usually charge this $199, so $199, but I'm going to offer for the first 10 people who are going to sign up for free. So I invite you to join me and to start really enjoying and enjoying your inner genius and your inner brilliance we all have.
Thank you. That is so generous. And for those that would like to hire Dr. Tina as well for those services to tap into that, aside from the giveaway, you can access her on her website. And the link for that is, what's the website address?
So the website is www.tinadedoctor.com.
Okay. And we'll have that, you can access it through that link as well below. So thank you so much, Dr. Tina. I so appreciate everything that you've provided today. And I know our viewers will benefit greatly, and helping understand as well that we can change what is going on, and we can change the way we're thinking and the direction our lives are going. It's just, there is an abundance of possibility and access to dreams and abundance and prosperity and happiness. And we just have to break through those fears. So thank you again for joining us here. And to all of our viewers, in the meantime, be courageous. And we are now signing off with love and light.
Thank you. Bye-bye.